What are you waiting for?
Yeah, come on, whip it out. We won't look.
The hell? No way. You're actually a chick.
You are in the wrong place then.
Stop! Let go!
As past events have shown us, trans people and trans-adjacent people still face discrimination when you're trying to use the bathroom. Of course, as a cisgendered woman, I can't understand the experience personally, but I think with all the transphobia that has been in our culture recently, it's important that we talk about media that does try to depict the trans experience in a very real way, and I imagine a very relatable way for trans people as well. I think the fact that we're kind of sort of moving in the right direction, but not really when it comes to media is still not great. We do have some characters in media that are trans or identify as non-binary, but I don't think that a lot of characters show what it's like to be trans and the in-depth experience that comes with that. For a lot of us growing up, really the only exposure that we got to trans issues or close to transness, I guess, would be like gender swap episodes, but for the most part, we don't have a lot of depictions of the trans experience in media. That's why I've always held a special place for Degrassi, even though I know that it's absolutely cringe at certain parts.
It's too early for all those decibels.
And I know that it's a teen show written by people who clearly aren't teens, but I still loved this show for many reasons, and was probably one of the first shows, if not the first show, that I was introduced to what even being trans was. So I think that's why I still hold the show in such high regard when it comes to like progressive issues. For me, the episode that I am going to be talking about came out at a time when I was very curious about a lot of different things and wanted to understand more. So the episode starts out with Adam, who has to take an alternative gym class, and Drew gets to play football. Although his mom uses this as an excuse, we already see right away the double standard that the mother is giving for Adam for obvious reason.
Why don't you, watch Drew's practice? And rot of boredom? I'd rather be playing, if I were allowed. You said you talked to Simpson about transferring me to regular gym. Can you do that, like, today?
No, I can't, because you're a new student at the school, and I think you should just fly under the radar for now.
Even though Drew is also a new student, he doesn't have to fly under the radar because he's not trans. He gets to be popular and have all the perks of being a regular teen boy, but Adam is denied the same privileges. Their mother then brings up their grandmother, who's coming to visit, and then says,
And I thought it would be nice if Gracie could join us for dinner.
I told you, Gracie's gone.
Will you please just consider it?
Considering, no. Sorry, I'm not playing dress up for anyone.
Have a great day, honey.
Their mother is depicted, I think, realistically in this very middle position where she wants her son to be safe and accommodate the decisions he's made, while at the same time worrying for his safety and also, to a certain extent, wanting to return to the way things used to be. And honestly, it's all for the sake of keeping peace with the family, and all of that really is realistic and makes sense. At the same time, though, I obviously don't agree with the mother's decisions, acting as if becoming Gracie is something that can be switched on and off by Adam whenever he likes. Dead naming someone also can be very severe for someone who is transitioning and can have an impact on their mental and emotional well-being, especially if this is done by your own parents who you want to accept you the most. So I can't imagine how painful it is for a lot of teens in the same situation who want to transition, but their environment isn't entirely supportive. Adam's mother doesn't realize that this is hurting her son when she asks him to revert back to that part of himself that he wants to leave in the past. I think, again, it's very realistic with parents who don't understand what being transgender fully is, and it almost seems in their head like it's a phase and that Adam will grow out of it eventually. So then we get, after that, a scene of the Degrassi cheese that I've come to love.
How's the man in the mirror? You asking him to change his ways?
What?
Michael Jackson?
Bruh.
Forget it. So, what's exciting in the world of recreation today? Darts?
Ballroom dancing.
Oh boy.
Shouldn't be that bad. I get to dance with cute girls.
No, oh boy.
Edited your story. I don't approve of this Clara Edwin character.
She's an ingenue.
She's a floozy.
Floozy? Ingenue? Yeah, 15 years old. Right.
Wait, are there cute girls in remedial gym?
Bianca. Okay, you gotta admit she's hot. I don't know. There's something there.
Wow, look at you, all machismo.
Machismo. What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, macho. Then why didn't they just say that? Okay, whatever. Later, during remedial English, Adam starts talking with Bianca, who isn't feeling it.
Ballroom dancing. Better or worse than ping pong?
I don't care.
Then the teacher stupidly calls out Adam's dead name,
Gracie! Gracie Torres!
which makes Bianca a little suspicious since they share the same last name.
Wait, aren't you Torres?
The teacher eventually corrects himself.
I meant Adam Torres. Sorry about that. Wrong list.
And thankfully no one really noticed. In the next scene, Adam is looking for a dance partner and walks up to Bianca.
I choose you as my partner. What are you in grade 7? I don't see anyone else stepping up.
Fine. Just watch your pause, Casanova.
Watch your pause, Casanova? Right, 16 years old in the 21st century. And she says, watch your pause, Casanova. You see why I love Degrassi dialogue? You can tell that she's kind of feeling him too.
We kicked some serious ass in there. By far the best pair.
And you didn't think I could lead?
I'll admit, you did pretty good.
We should keep it up.
Practice sometime. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Things seem to be going well for Adam and Bianca until Adam gets a little visitor. He grabs something out of his locker, and as he's making a run for it, he bumps into Claire, who is immediately confused when she sees that Adam has tampons. Adam has seemed to pass up until this point, keeping his secret from everybody at school except for Drew. So Fitz and Owen, the two bullies at the school, show up behind them, seeing the tampons on the ground, and Adam immediately shifts the blame to Claire for dropping them.
Why do you have tampons?
Hey, Adam, drop something?
Claire, pick up your stuff. That's nasty. Silly me. Always dropping my feminine hygiene products.
Gross.
Claire takes the fall for Adam even though she's clearly confused by this. The next scene shows Adam's morning routine. I like this scene a lot because we see the effort Adam goes through every morning to present as a guy. We see that he looks at himself in the mirror with hesitance and probably some disdain for his feminine physique. The fact that he gets a period is also probably a constant reminder that I imagine can be very difficult to deal with as a trans person that wants their body to match the way they identify. Drew knocks on the door and makes a snide comment. Then his mother yells up, misgendering Adam again.
Took you less time to get ready when you were a girl.
I was never a girl, idiot.
She's still in the bathroom.
Really, Mom? Pronoun problems still?
Sorry, Adam. Let's go.
Swear she does that on purpose.
Nah, she just forgets.
We see how much this pisses him off. The conflict between Adam and his mother and the fact that she has a difficult time accepting her son, again, is realistic. Whether she intentionally misgenders him or she does it accidentally. And a lot of the time it is brushed off.
Swear she does that on purpose.
Nah, she just forgets.
Because, again, what can he really do in this situation? Like, his family is accepting to a point, but they clearly don't see the issue with the misgendering as much as Adam does, as it continues to happen. And I imagine, again, a lot of trans people have gone through this with their own parents, and I imagine it was painful for them when their parents would not respect their pronouns. It can feel dehumanizing. Adam responds back, defending his pronouns again.
Your sons will be down in a second.
And again, this is Adam's way of telling his mother that he is a guy and that he won't change, even if she continues to still refer to him as she. At school, Claire and Eli are talking about the situation when Adam walks up to them.
So, what was I covering exactly?
You don't have to explain. It's not our business.
I like how Eli immediately pushes and says how they don't need to know because he can see that Adam's uncomfortable with being asked about the tampons. That's a good friend right there, honestly.
It's okay. I want to tell you. Okay. So, I'm a guy, like 100% dude, but I was born in a girl's body. I'm an FTM, female to male transgender. Questions? Anything. Go ahead.
Everything in this scene is well delivered and directed. The way Eli and Claire look at each other when told about Adam, it feels like how humans would react, especially those who might not be as familiar with being transgender or knowing someone who is. They don't come off as closed-minded, it's just they come off as genuinely surprised, maybe even confused a little bit, but again, not like disgusted or put off. This was in 2010, which again is impressive because before that, I don't really think a lot of shows were delving into issues like this or talking about it to this degree at all, and I really respect that. There's a lot of pauses in this scene as you can see the characters trying to process what they've been told while also trying not to make Adam feel uncomfortable. And I love Eli's reaction here and Adam's smile.
Cool.
You can tell that in this moment he feels like he's found someone that he can be friends with and that will accept him. I find it interesting that Claire does push back, and it might have been intentional on the writer's part because she was raised Christian.
Does that mean you're gay? No, I like girls, and since I'm a guy between the ears, that makes me straight. At least I think so. Well, how do you know you're not a tomboy or lesbian? I just know.
I also think they wanted one of the characters to ask realistic questions that they have when a trans person comes out to them.
How long have you known?
Since I was 4 or 5, I hated wearing dresses and having long hair.
Which makes this a real and nuanced conversation on the whole thing. Things seem to be going well for Adam, and as he's seen flirting some more with Bianca, she's totally digging him.
So, when are we practicing our moves?
Are you flirting?
What if I was?
Bro, you're not my type.
Why? 'Cause I avoid spray tanning?
Funny.
I think I could be your type.
Damn, Adam, look at you go, boy. So gender really is socially constructed at the end of the day. Keep that in mind for what's about to happen, though.
Don't look at me with those eyes. Well, what's going on there?
Nothing.
You're too skinny to have man boobs. Stop! What the hell? Are you a girl? I've seen you freaks on Oprah.
Once Bianca finds out that Adam was born biologically female, you can see how her biases immediately show. She was feeling him a minute ago like any other guy until she finds out the fact that he's trans. Later, Adam is seen entering the men's room, and we already know this is going to take a turn for the worse.
Did you miss the sign on the door?
No, I saw it, thanks.
It means guys. And we heard something from B.
Look, I just want to use the bathroom.
By all means, whiz. In the urinal, standing up.
Here in this scene, you see how Adam brushes off any help from people that are watching, clearly embarrassed, humiliated, ashamed. Honestly, I don't understand how Fitz and Owen weren't fucking expelled for what they did, which is just assault and damage to property. Drew finds out what happened and scolds Adam for flirting with Bianca. Again, Adam gets misgendered, but not in an intentional way by Drew.
This isn't your battle. I'll go to the LGBT club.
Why do you think I transferred to Degrassi? If anyone hurts my sister, sorry, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure that they don't touch you again.
He is used to Adam as his sister, and it makes sense, but again, it's just another jab. This episode gives me the vibes that Adam's transition is fairly new to his family, and there is a bit of an adjustment to that. We also learn why Drew transfers to Degrassi in the first place. Aw. Drew being a good brother before he becomes a complete piece of shit. So Drew thinks he can take on Fitz and Owen, but completely fails and gets beat the fuck up. Before we discuss the next part though, I want to give a trigger warning for self-harm because it can be very triggering, and I understand that. I know people personally that have dealt with that, so I understand if you need to leave here, that is perfectly fine. So the next part starts with Adam and his mom and Drew in Mr. Simpson's office discussing the problem. His mom wants him to transfer, and Adam clearly doesn't want to go through another transfer. Mr. Simpson tells Adam that he has to use the handicap that bathroom. And it's sad that in these types of situations, it's the trans person that has to be isolated and make a change for the rest of the cisgendered students to be comfortable. The episode only gets worse with everything that happens to Adam, and it really gets you depressed, honestly, and emotional at certain points. It really makes you feel for the character. First, he's got to be followed around by a chaperone because of what happened, which already makes him socially stand out even more, which is the opposite of what he wanted. During his remedial gym class, Bianca clearly wants a different partner because she can't handle dancing with a trans person, and she refuses to dance with a lesbian.
So we were at my locker. I ripped open his shirt, and he has boobs. He's a girl.
Are we gonna do this or what?
I'm no lesbian.
Neither am I. Look, you need a partner, I need a partner.
You need therapy. Touch me again, and I'll kill you.
You can see how frustrated Bianca is in the back, all because she'd rather dance with some fuckhead who doesn't know how to dance than dance with Adam. Later, Adam and his mother are shopping, and the mother purposely picks out a girly outfit and shrugs off Adam's choice of outfit. She asks Adam again to dress as a girl for their grandmother. Adam says no, and she tells him, "Don't come then." So after everything that's already happened to him, literally getting thrown into a fucking door, you're gonna ask him to do something that's going to degrade him even more. The mother is really just really pushing it. His mother, though, is also worried that he will start hurting himself again. She doesn't realize that the reason for this was because he was forced to live as a girl and probably dealing with gender dysphoria, and self-harm was his only way of coping. It makes sense too why his mother would respond this way, because she is afraid of how the grandmother will view the situation. It also feels incredibly realistic that the mother would reframe the situation to make it about her. To her, Adam is making life more difficult because of a choice he's making.
I've thought about it. I want to introduce Grams to Adam tonight.
Then don't come. I don't understand why we can't just have a normal family dinner. I don't deserve this.
It's not about you.
I know. It's about our whole family.
What are you so scared of?
I'm scared that you're gonna start hurting yourself again.
I haven't. In a long time.
You know, Adam, I don't ask for much. I just wanted to have a nice family dinner. That's all.
But she doesn't understand that it's more than just a choice to dress up differently. This is who he is, and it kills him whenever he's referred to being a girl because he wants to be seen as a man. I always like to frame the situation to a cis person like this. Imagine if you, as you are, wake up the next day in a body of the opposite sex. You know that you were the gender you always were, man or woman, but now you have a body that doesn't reflect that. Everything about yourself you know about yourself, but looks wrong, and it doesn't reflect who you are or know yourself to be. Obviously, it's not the exact same, but it's similar to a trans person's experience with their gender and being in a body that they didn't choose, that doesn't reflect who they are on the inside. His mother is asking him to change himself for everyone else instead of learning about transgender identity. The way the show can make you understand both sides, though, of the situation makes for a more realistic experience. At dinner, Adam's mother has just about accepted that Adam won't be showing up until she sees Gracie sit down at the table. You can kind of see that the family looks a little happy to see Gracie again, but Adam is just miserable, and you can feel that throughout the whole scene. The way his mother plays with his hair, but he doesn't accept it and brushes it off, it just all feels like you can just really feel that he is miserable.
Gracie, glad you could make it.
Yeah, haven't seen you in a while.
Such a beautiful girl. I miss you so much.
Adam does attempt to tell his grandmother about being trans, but his mother begs him not to, basically, and he ends up lying and telling her about ballroom dance class instead. And the relief of the family is felt when Adam decides to keep his secret. The next day, Adam decides to continue dressing like a girl despite what he wants.
On a moonlit night, I was thinking back on time. Oh, he was a friend of mine. So that my shadows all fall behind. Who am I? Who am I? Just wasting my time.
Again, I imagine detransitioning can be painful for trans people, especially when they feel like they have to appease those around them. Social pressure makes it very hard to feel safe or accepted in society. There are so many social risks with coming out, which is why it boggles my mind when people say that being trans or being gay is a choice that can be fixed with therapy. If it were that simple, then why wouldn't we choose to be straight, or why wouldn't trans people identify with the sex they were born as? Wouldn't it be easier to choose to be straight or to be cisgender than suffer the societal consequences that may come with being gay or trans or non-heteronormative? Society clearly isn't accepting of gay people or trans people, which is why a lot of people feel they will be judged or are afraid that their families will think of them lesser than because of it if they come out. The trans experience really is a very difficult one. Even for me, who doesn't even understand it personally, it is clearly something that a lot of people don't understand. In dance class, Adam faces even more bullying by Bianca and the others.
You make one ugly girl.
Gracie or Tranny?
Damn, why the fuck is everyone so mean? I have a feeling that Bianca is taking her anger out about being deceived by Adam by bullying him. We see anti-trans violence all the time because of this perception of being deceived by trans people. It doesn't make what Bianca did right by any means. She's a total fucking bitch for this, but I'm just trying to understand from all perspectives. After Adam flirted with her, she started feeling him only to find out that he was trans. This could have caused this response from Bianca, and why she continues after this to make remarks toward Adam because she feels threatened by something she doesn't understand. Again, total bitch for the behavior, but knowing how society is, this is unfortunately one of the ugly responses to things that humans have no idea about: violence and bigotry. Bianca gets sent to the principal's office, and the teacher asks what it is that Adam would like to be referred to as. He says Gracie as he starts dancing with the teacher, looking even more miserable, and I'm starting to get even more depressed now. After this, Adam isolates himself to a school bench.
What are you doing? Adam, if I'm Gracie, everything's easier, right? For everyone. When I was her, I used to burn myself. That's how I let the anger out. But you're not her. I have to be her. For my mom, my family, for everyone. I'm trying so hard. You don't have to change who you are. Everyone else does.
Claire catches him burning himself. I do like how Claire is the one to discover Adam. For some reason, I can't see this scene working as well with Eli. Maybe it's because Claire is a girl, and even though she can't understand what Adam is going through as someone born female and who identifies as a woman, she doesn't understand transitioning to a man. But I think her sympathetic and nurturing personality helps Adam in a way where I don't know if Eli would have had the same response, maybe. So Adam changes clothes and gets into his mother's car, where she is surprised to see him dressing like a guy again. You can kind of tell that she was hoping that Adam would continue dressing like a girl, and was probably really hoping that him transitioning would be a phase or something. Adam finally says what he's needed to say this whole time.
What happened?
When you look at me, do you see a boy or a girl?
Oh, Adam.
Just answer me.
A girl.
I said bye to Gracie a long time ago, but you haven't. And that sucks. Can you look at me?
I'm trying my best. I just don't know if I can say bye to my daughter. The only time I get to see her is when Grams comes in pictures. You made such a pretty girl.
But I was never happy.
I know. I just don't understand.
You don't have to. Just accept.
Accept what? That your life is gonna be hard?
Mom, it's hardest when I'm Gracie. If I'm gonna get through it, I need you to see me as Adam, your son. We have to put Gracie to rest.
And he's obviously right. She doesn't need to understand everything. Although it would be nice as his mother to learn about transgender identity, she does need to accept that her daughter is gone and that she has a son. It's clear that his mother hasn't really come to terms with losing her daughter, and that's okay, because if she still needs to grieve that, she needs to grieve it, but she also needs to welcome a son, or her and her relationship with her son will continue to get worse. So later, during a bonfire, all of Adam's closest supporters show up to burn some of his old things. Even his parents show up, and his mother brings an old picture of him when he was still identifying as a girl.
That would be a good way of saying bye to Gracie that doesn't involve hurting myself. What did your counselor say? We're gonna try really hard to ensure that doesn't happen again. You force her to come?
Nope. So we're gonna do this? We have some ugly ass clothes to burn. Not ready to burn it?
Still me.
And I love how Adam decided not to burn the picture because he still accepts that both the past and present versions are still him. They also say that Adam had spoken to a therapist. It is very brief, but I guess that it's implied that he is going to continue to see a therapist because obviously with the self-harm and just honestly everybody could use a fucking therapist. I will admit when I was young and first started Degrassi, I was first conceptualizing all of this. I remember saying, why can't the character just be a lesbian? I didn't understand at the time that I was being transphobic, that I was kind of living in my own idea of what gender and sexuality was. And I was kind of tying gender and sexuality together because I was a kid and I was confused about what gender identity was. But this show kind of explained to me that it's not about sexuality at all. It's about how somebody chooses to express themselves and how they feel and identity, and just how, again, gender isn't binary like at all. Sexuality and gender obviously can intersect. I'm not saying that, but one doesn't necessarily mean the other. And I have to thank Degrassi for that because it was at a time when I was young and was still learning things and wanted to understand things in a better way. And I just think that the show is just a very progressive show. And even though it's cheesy and corny and it's, you know, it has its flaws, I think at the end of the day, the show does a good job with portraying experiences in a realistic way sometimes, and this is one of those times for me personally. Again, this isn't necessarily even the experience for every trans person. I just think that it's an experience that I'm sure that a trans person could understand some aspect of. So I'm glad that Degrassi was able to do this at a time when no other show was really, to my knowledge, really doing it to this extent, or exploring it in a more relatable way and a more in-depth way, and not just like a shallow gender swap thing. I think trans people deserve to have media that reflects them as well. It shouldn't just be kind of like a token thing. It should be a genuine character study, a genuine character experience. And I think Degrassi does give that in a realistic way about a trans person and their experience and what that can feel like. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this analysis, and I will see you guys in the next one.